The term glazed is so overused now.
Free the youth from the term glazing, bro.
Oh my god, glaze me.
Think about Playboy Cardi. It's off
So
limits.
clasp your lips, huh? Glazing.
Damn, that view's fire.
Bro, you're glazing right now.
Who the f came up with this rule that you can't like something? You know how many things suck in this world? You're gonna make you want a new rule where you can't even like some shit?
I show love to anything that's good. Why are you man saying it's glazing every time? Not everything is glazing, bro.
Do you ever feel so passionate about the things you like, only for your friends to completely undermine you and say that you're glazing? You wouldn't be alone, as over the last few years, the word glazing has forged a destructive path that's killing Gen Z's passions and admirations. I feel like it's been nearly impossible to go online without seeing or hearing the word in some capacity. The word has bled into discourses across numerous communities, whether it be music, basketball, or anything in between. So today, I'll be uncovering the ways that glazing is destroying our passion, how it's potentially leading to more social isolation and anxiety, and hopefully pave a way towards a more valuable use of the word. I wanted to start this video off by voicing my frustrations with the word. In my opinion, it has dumbed down discourses both online and offline. Instead of people going back and forth about why they like or dislike something, now they'll just accuse each other of glazing. Like, you can post that an artist has really good lyricism and storytelling, only for some random person on the internet to comment, "Holy glaze." This just leads to less nuanced conversations, especially when it comes to talking about media. Another point to add is how it can undermine people's genuine passions. We all have things that we're passionate about, whether we like to admit it or not. So how would you feel if you told someone about your passions only for them to dismiss them and chalk it up to you glazing? That would kind of suck or make you a little upset, right? Well, you wouldn't be the only one feeling this way, as plenty of people have been voicing their frustrations with the word online too.
Free the youth from the term glazing, bro. I am sick and tired of that word, I swear to God. Y'all are glazing the word glazing. You know how insane that is? Y'all are developing an inability to express how much you really like something out of fear. Someone will go, "You're glazing, you like it too much." Let's use music as an example, right? If I'm like, "Man, I love that album, great production, blah, blah, blah," someone will go, "He likes it a little too much. He's glazing." No, bro, I'm showing love and appreciation. You should try it sometime.
Now that I think about it, this whole situation kind of reminds me of the liking everything is cringe trend on TikTok from a while ago. If anything, this notion of liking anything being considered glazing is extremely cringe and nonsensical. Like, I know some people joke around when they use the word, but there are those out there that genuinely mean that shit. Since I've been voicing my frustrations with the word, I think it's only right that I mention my own use of it. If you visit the comment section of my video where I talked about why Kanye West should retire, and I still stand 10 toes on that take, you will find several instances of me using the word against some of the people that commented. My reasons for using the word will be revealed towards the end of this video, so you'll want to stick around for that. But a good question to ask is, where did glazing actually come from? Well, the Fabled story of glazing began on November 21st when Twitter user Joe the Activist captioned a photo of Donald Trump and Kyle Rittenhouse saying he dick riding. Little did Joe know he would become the catalyst for the word, leading another Twitter user, who I'll just refer to as Wrath, to quote his tweet, instead saying he glazing. Shortly after, in 2022, streamers like Kai Cenat and the rest of AMP started using the term, leading to an explosion in popularity for it. It's no surprise that the term took off, primarily with kids and teenagers, since Kai is the biggest streamer in the world and has such a young and impressionable audience. From there, it started to spread like wildfire throughout TikTok and other social media platforms as a means to say that someone was showering certain things with excessive praise. The explosion in its popularity even led Wrath and their friend Fully with it to reveal that the term actually originated from a Discord server that the two co-admin. Earlier this year, Merriam-Webster officially registered the word in a slang category, emphasizing how much reach the word has now. And while this brief history lesson is important, I feel like it's time to touch on one of the most interesting parts of this topic, being glazing's potential connection to social anxiety and isolation. According to the National Social Anxiety Center, over 60% of Gen Z experience social anxiety in some capacity. This social anxiety stems from various sources, whether it be constant social media use, global uncertainty, or the isolation-heavy pandemic we all went through. In terms of social isolation, around 73% of Gen Z feel alone in some capacity. This loneliness could be as damaging as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. I'm low-key wondering how they came up with that statistic. But one of the biggest factors for both is the fear of scrutiny. For as long as mankind has walked the earth, there have always been disagreements over our opinions and interests. Yet in today's time, these disagreements have turned into people shaming and attacking each other, even if their passions and interests are completely harmless. So how does Glazing fit into this equation? Well, when people just admit that they like something and dare go a little into detail with their admiration, someone, whether it be a friend or some random person online, will be quick to dismiss them and just say that they're glazing. For some people, this can make them think that it's wrong or cringe to share their interests in these spaces, leading to more social anxiety and isolation. One group to think about are the younger people within the generation, specifically those who are just about to start high school. When a lot of people get to high school, they're trying to find ways to fit in. The 4 years of high school are some of the most impressionable years of our lives. So if these people express their interest only for people to say that they're glazing for no reason, they might feel embarrassed and stop liking certain things altogether. Growing up, I was a huge Sonic fan, but in middle school and parts of high school, my friends would be on my ass for it. Like, I would listen to the soundtracks from the games on the regular, cause I'm not gonna lie, they were bangers. And look where Sonic is now. His movies are box office hits, and now I see people walking around wearing Sonic shirts and listening to the music from his games. I really had to walk for them to run if I'm keeping it a bean. But along the way, I realized that no one could stop me from liking the Blue Blur because he was just too iconic. So if you're dealing with a similar situation to this, but in terms of glazing, don't let that stop you from liking what you like.
Fuck anybody who tries to make you feel silly for liking what you like. Happiness is really hard to come by, and anything that brings you a little joy is a tiny miracle. Do what you want, wear what you want, like whatever the fuck you like. Make them cringe.
As long as you're not hurting anybody or yourself.
There's no such thing as a guilty pleasure. That's just a tiny miracle. Stop putting off happy. It is not a constant, and it is not a guarantee. Eat the thing, do the thing, wear the thing. Life is hard enough. Get one life, and there are 2 rules. Don't be a shitty person, and try to have some fun.
Anyways, it's time to figure out the best uses of the word so we can advance a little bit as a society. Honestly, I believe that there are a couple of ways that glazing could be used for a better purpose. Ooh, shit, it broke. Can you hold it together for like 15 more minutes? Honestly, I feel like there are a couple of ways that glazing could be used for a better purpose. Firstly, it could be used as a means to deter people from idolization. I know it's kind of being used for that reason already, but I feel like this use of the word needs to be normalized more instead of using it when someone just really likes something. There is a big difference between being passionate about something and idolizing someone. Oh yeah, it's cooked. It's cooked. It's cooked. It's cooked. All right, that's the best I can do for now. When you're idolizing someone, it's like you can't live without them. They consume a good chunk of your time, and if you don't know them, you start to build an unhealthy parasocial relationship with that person. There are plenty of people online who have gone down this path in numerous communities. Using the word in this way just makes much more sense to me, as it would be used to steer people away from unhealthy obsessions without being derogatory. Another good use of the word would be to deter people from liking evil people. Tying back to what I was talking about earlier with my Kanye video, I've used the word this way plenty of times as a means to shame people for their immoral beliefs. Honestly, it might be time to bring back genuine shame, because a lot of people need it. Like, I'll see edits of people who are genuine shitters and think to myself, damn, y'all are genuinely laying it on thick. Using glazing like this could actually contribute to something in our society instead of demeaning others for their interest. I just think that the word glazing is being overused for the wrong purpose. Having genuine passions and interests is a great thing and should be encouraged more, to be honest. Our passions are a part of who we are, so we should never belittle others for theirs. Otherwise, we'll only suppress who we are and aid the growing social anxiety and isolation in our society. But if you agreed or disagree with my takes in this video, let me know in the comments below. I read all of my comments and will more than likely respond as long as it stays civil. As always, take care of yourselves and please do great things every day. Let's go. We're gonna end glazing.